Chapter 4, Your Body Systems. In this chapter, we will review the body systems you learned about in 6th grade. Your body cells have three main structures: the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, and the nucleus. The nucleus is the brain of the cell. Groups of cells of the same type that work together form tissues. For example, skin cells. Groups of tissues that work together form organs. For example, your liver, your heart, and your lungs. Groups of organs that work together form organ systems. Together, they all keep the body working properly. Your body systems are the skeletal, muscular, digestive, respiratory, circulatory, urinary, nervous, endocrine, and immune. Let's talk about the skeletal system. How many bones are in the human body? Any guesses? If you guessed 206, you are correct. The three smallest bones in the body are in the inner ear: the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. The three functions of the skeletal system are to provide support, allow for movement, and to protect your body's organs. The four types of joints that can be found in the skeletal system. Do you have any idea? The first is a hinge joint, which can be found in the elbow and knee, very similar to the hinge that opens and closes your door, allows for one path of movement. The ball and socket joint, found in your shoulder and hip, allows for rotation. Think of doing arm circles during your warm-up in gym class. The pivot joint in the neck allows for side-to-side motion and up and down motion. The fixed joint in the skull. If you looked at your skull, it would look like a puzzle with all the pieces fixed together nicely. They do not move. In your bone, you have a tissue called marrow. It makes blood cells or stores fat. Let's talk about the muscular system. There are hundreds of muscles in the body. Did you know that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile? The three types of muscle are skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. The heart is the most important muscle in the body. The digestive system. Digestion starts in your mouth by chewing and saliva that wets your food so that you can swallow. The esophagus is the passageway for food from the mouth to the stomach. The pancreas is a small gland that releases digestive fluids into the small intestine. This helps break your food down further. The villi in the small intestine will help absorb the nutrients from the food that has been digested. The respiratory system. The main organ in the respiratory system is the lungs. Cilia line the passages of the respiratory system in your nose so that it can catch impurities that you breathe in. The trachea, the tube that branches off from the throat and carries the air towards the lungs, is also known as the windpipe. The diaphragm muscle is found beneath the rib cage and moves when a person inhales or exhales. What happens if that movement is disrupted? You get the hiccups. There are many ways people say to cure hiccups. Do they really work? The circulatory system. The main organ, the heart. This is an example of what the heart would look like inside the body. Your heart is usually around the same size as a closed fist. The heart has atriums at the top of it. These are the two chambers that collect the blood when it returns from the body. Blood is carried to the heart by the veins. Blood is carried away from the heart by arteries. Hemoglobin is the substance that oxygen attaches itself to in blood. Oxygen is carried through the body. Carbon dioxide is carried back to be released. The urinary system. The urinary system removes wastes from the body, specifically water wastes. The kidneys make the urine. When urine is formed, it travels down a tube called a ureter to where urine is stored in a balloon-like organ called the bladder. When it's time for the bladder to release the urine, it's carried outside of the body by the urethra. Your nervous system. The two major parts of the nervous system are the brain and spinal cord. The cerebrum interprets and stores information and sends signals to the muscles. The cerebellum coordinates motion of voluntary muscles. The brain stem controls your automatic activities like your heartbeat and digestion. Information is gathered and transmitted by nerve cells, distributed throughout the body, and then run back to the brain by the spinal cord. Endocrine system. The endocrine glands release hormones into the bloodstream for distribution to specific cells. The pituitary gland releases growth hormone. Growth hormone regulates how fast your body grows. Reproductive glands. Males' reproductive glands are testes. Females are ovaries. The immune system. It helps fight disease and sickness. T cells attack foreign invaders and rid them from the body. This is the end of Chapter 4, Body Systems Review.